All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Jen, take roll, please.
Commissioner Corbin?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner? Commissioner Thel?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have attached the minutes of September 8th.
Move to approve the minutes of September 8th. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
I move to approve the agenda for this evening.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence. Acknowledge the August building permit report, which is also attached.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Acknowledge the letter from KLJ in reference to airport cropping. Did you want to address this morning, Bob?
Yeah, I sure
Let's see.
will.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Sounds like we got a letter from the KLJ engineering firm, and we are gonna have alfalfa in the cropping for next year instead of row planting, and Chad and Brian are gonna get together before the next airport board meeting and discuss it more.
Sounds good. All right. Questions or comments?
We're having alfalfa next year.
Hmm?
So it would appear.
Do we have a motion to acknowledge?
I would move to acknowledge the letter from KLJ about the airport cropping, item number 2 on the agenda. Appearances,
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, under new business, authorize the mayor to sign the master subscription agreement with CSI Software Incorporated, management software, and this year's for the community center. Is that correct, Aaron?
Yeah, that's correct. At our last board meeting, our governing board approved, basically made a motion to approve the recommendation of this agreement for the mayor to sign pending city attorney's approval, which David Jinks had a chance to review this. We did make some modifications to it, and we got that back, and they were able to sign off on it. So what this software program does, it replaces our current member management software program, which our current issue with our current management software, it's on a server. Our management software that's running right now is on a server that's 11 years old, and basically right now the server's at any time is going to go out. The universities came over, they looked at taking our current software and putting it on a server on campus. Unfortunately, our software program that we purchased back in 2004 it isn't capable of running on today's server. The language, everything is too old. So basically, you can't get a server to run the software anymore. The other part of this too is our current software program is what they call desktop based, where it's on one of our information stored on one of our servers. This is a cloud-based system, so everything's obviously going to be served on the CSI's servers. So it'll kind of take us out of that information storage game, which with PCI compliance makes it challenging for some ways for us to meet those needs. So that's what this agreement does. There are some additional things that we're going to be able to add on, like for online scheduling, for personal training. We hope to go paperless someday with this. This will allow us the opportunity to go paperless, so there's no, if you come in and sign up for a membership at the community center, it's all done on the computer, it's all stored under that person's contract, so we're not storing personal information on paper and then trying to lock it up. So hopefully we'll be able to meet some PCI regulations a little bit better that way too. So I don't know, Dave, if you had any other thing to mention about this when you had a chance to take a look through it.
Aaron did give me a chance to look at it this last week. Found the software company actually very easy to work with on some changes. They were made within a day of our request. Changes that we requested weren't really that major, but we requested them and they were happy to comply. So I'm certainly comfortable telling you that the agreement's in proper order.
Is this anything that DSU currently uses at all in any of their programming?
No.
Okay.
This is really for recreation based facilities
Okay.
and health clubs.
Did you, if I may?
Yes.
Did you find this through another center somewhere? Did you do some research and find this?
No, actually, when we, back in 2003, when we originally were looking at software upgrades, the board reviewed this software program plus with a program called Check Free, which we ultimately decided on. So when round 2 came up to look at software programs again, we looked at this again. And then also probably about the past 4 or 5 years, when we started looking at online registration opportunities, our first goal was to find a program that can do it all. And so we've been looking at software programs really for 5 or 6 years now. And this just kind of came to the point that this one program can do everything for us. And instead of us trying to manage multiple databases with different programs, we can do everything with one program. And that's what this will allow us to do too.
And you budgeted for this year?
For 2016, yeah.
For 2016.
So 2016
Yeah.
budget. Some of the training
Thank you.
that will go into this will come out of our 2015 budget. That is unbudgeted, so some of our budgeted line items will exceed what we had budgeted. Because we originally didn't anticipate moving forward this until 2016, but with the current state of our server, DSU has made the recommendation that we do it as soon as we possibly can. So
I seem to remember in your presentation for the budget that this was a
correct.
concern, so. What's the cost on this?
It's $1,250 a month, so it's spendy software. But like I said, the biggest thing with it allows us to do what we're doing today, and then allows us to grow into a lot of the programs and aspects, especially on the fitness services side with scheduling trainers and services online. We'll be able to offer things in different ways that we haven't done before. That's something that we're kind of excited about on a board level by doing things a little bit different besides the old paper and pencil aspect that we do now. So
And the 1,000, was it 200 and something?
$1,250 a month.
Okay, that was covered in your request for
Yeah.
16?
And it'd be basically, basically a monthly subscription that we pay for here on out.
All right.
I move to authorize the mayor to sign the, is that where we're at? Yeah, the master subscription agreement, CSI Software Incorporated, -- management software.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
Authorize the mayor to sign energy supplier vendor agreement, South Dakota DSS Low Income Energy Assistance Program, LEAP. Jen, did you want to address that?
I can briefly. The city has long been a vendor of the South Dakota Department of Social Services LEAP program.
Mhm.
We're coming off of a 5-year agreement, and this, you will note, the last paragraph on this agreement is now an open-ended agreement. Cancellation within 30 days upon either party. Citizens, just a little background here, citizens apply for this assistance through the Department of Social Services, through the state. If they're awarded, they have X amount of dollars that they are awarded that is put towards their electrical heat usage only. So the gals in my office have to do a lot of carving out of other services within their bills because these dollars can only be applied to electric heat sources. And only for usage of October 1st through May 15th. But last year, we did serve 108 consumers who were awarded these LEAP funds.
Hey.
Okay?
Why
so
is
this
it, is
just-
that, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, is that only, is that indigenous, is that relevant to our community only, that it's only electrical? I mean, if some other,
Yes, because I believe the gas companies, you can do the same if you have gas, but then you go to
But we don't bill
Northwestern
that, so,
Public
yeah.
Service and have the same type of LEAP
Okay.
agreement with that.
yeah. So this just isn't a national carve-out by the electrical
Correct.
industries.
Right.
Any other questions?
Why is it going to an open-ended agreement?
I can't answer that for sure. You'll just see that it says either party has the option to cancel within 30 days, otherwise they were on 5-year agreements.
Is that okay, David?
Yeah, it just means that if for some reason we don't want to participate next year, we just need to give them 30 days notice. I'm comfortable.
And or we don't have to bring this back every 5 years, because like I said, we have long
Correct.
been a provider of this.
If we decide for some reason not to be a sponsor partner, we simply give them notice and it's done.
And there really
Go ahead.
isn't any reason not to do it. You know, I
It
mean,
doesn't affect us.
you know, it doesn't affect the city, but it does help those people who need assistance,
That's right.
so.
Fair amount of work for the billing clerks? Is this the thing that
It is,
can be a bit
it
tedious?
is, but we probably need to look at some software type components too, of how maybe it can be fed better through our software rather than through some of the means that we're doing it right now,
Okay,
okay?
And especially if you know, ahead of time and that you know who the consumers are, you can put them in the software. So,
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign energy supplier vendor agreement, SDDSS, low income energy assistance program, LEAP agreement.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3, the first reading of ordinance number 1569, appropriations for 2016. Jen, do you want to briefly address that?
Do you want brief, or do you want to go through some of these lines? I'm looking at David over there. I'm trying to hear. Be
Underscore.
Brief, okay? I can do brief.
I think we've been down this road unless there's some surprises in that from our last few meetings and that.
This is just a
Then I would say brief is going to
I
be
can do
just
brief.
fine.
I like brief myself, okay? Ordinance number 1569 is simply a summation of the ledger-sized budget sheets that we have been working off of for the past several weeks. Your municipal funds are across the top, and then your categories are all along down the side, okay? Your top 3 pages here, your first 3 pages actually are going to be your appropriations, expenditures, okay? So the top 3, the first 3 pages are your expenditures. You will note that the debt service is carved out there, as are the transfers in and out of departments, okay? For a total appropriations, and then we add to that the capital outlay accumulations and the capital replacement or depreciation, better known on a monthly basis to us as our designated reserves. Okay, all of these numbers feed together for a nice pretty little number, total appropriations and accumulations, which is halfway down page 3, if you're following along with me there, $28,125,960. Okay, now that is an increase from last year. It's an increase of about $6 million, but can be accounted for, largely contributed to 2 of the major projects we have going on. The airport parallel taxiway at almost $4 million, and then the South Dakota DOT project that we have coming through town at almost $2 million.
So
And
are-
those monies,
Those end up included in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
as per our
and those
auditors.
monies are coming from reserves that are already there.
Right, right, so they're compensated for, as per our
Yes.
auditors, they're compensated for on the expenditure side and the revenue side.
Did
We
you
don't
look to
want
see if
do
you did
that.
back those 2 projects out, where we'd be at compared to last year?
Awful darn close. Okay?
What was your question?
If you backed out those 2 projects,
Okay.
where would it be compared to last year?
Okay.
One year compared to the other, and that we're just, I think, right on the same doorstep.
And you said yes.
Yes, bottom line, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Section 2 then goes through the revenue. You will note the sales tax there, the first line item, sales tax, property tax, did increase, budgetary wise there. Those are increases. The sales tax, I increased about $155,000 bottom line, and we had some of that discussion in the last couple weeks as we were working through the budget process. But if we are able to simply maintain our current collections, we should be able to meet these sales tax figures easily. Property tax, we also discussed that. We're looking at 2.46% growth percentage, along with that 1.5% CPI, which should afford us about $1.7 million in general fund property tax.
Was that 1.5 or 1.75?
1.7,
Yes,
1.7.
right.
Okay. Once again, page 4, you're gonna see your transfers in and out, also your reserves applied. We have budgeted to use about $800,000 of our current reserves to put towards projects this year. And then you have your expended and your unexpended balances there. Okay, and that's where I want to. Your total unexpended balance is about $1.4 million, and those are the dollars that we have agreed to use from our cash reserves, our operating cash reserves, knowing that much of that is from our capital outlay accumulations. And we had that discussion several times during the budget process, and everyone is comfortable with that. All right, so bottom line is your total means of finance then references that same $28 million.
Mhm.
Total means of finance, total total appropriations and accumulations are the same $28 million. Section 3 is the tax levy that I need to send to the county auditor. That is part of our ordinance. And section 4 are the reading and publication fees.
Okay.
First reading tonight. I'll entertain any questions that you may have between now and then also. Second reading 2 weeks from tonight. Questions? That just seems really fast for all of the hours and work that's put into this. So if you have any questions.
Yes.
I hope that what it means.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners,
Yes, sir.
I would like to thank Jen for the hard work and the extra work that she put in to make this budget process to move forward as fast as it did and as smooth as it did. I
Nope,
think
very
she's
good. I agree with
done a
that.
tremendous job on this, explaining it to us night after night, and I just can't thank her enough.
Thank you.
Nope, very good. I agree.
That was nice.
Yes.
Not to, take away anything away from the other department heads, everybody chipped in.
Well, no, but without
Finance
her
officer
putting it on this
did an
paper
okay job.
and on the pink sheets,
Nope,
we'd
very
be
good.
sitting up here for a couple extra nights wondering where we're sitting.
Mhm, Very good.
Thank you, John.
Hours off
You're
her
welcome.
time at night, I'm sure. I'm sure you would.
It's all part of it.
Wow.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve ordinance number 1569 for 2016.
Are we approving the
First
reading
reading,
of?
please.
First
First
reading.
reading.
First reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You also have attached personnel adjustments.
This is a new hire, I believe. Is it not?
It is. It's
Okay.
our first female patrolman. She
And-
started with us last week.
And does this fill up our, the,
Yes.
police department now?
It does.
Okay. We have no open
All full-time
positions?
positions are now filled.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve personnel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. We are in executive session.